Royal Oak is a super desirable city in the Metro Detroit area. Let's analyze this property here and see how it performs as a long-term rental. It's in great shape, so we're only going to set aside $1 to $2 grand for expenses. To run the numbers on this, we're going to use MichiganRentalAnalyzer.com. The purchase price I went below the asking because if you look here, the property's been listed for over 129 days, which gives us more leverage with the more aggressive offer. For the monthly rent, we're going to go with the suggested value given to us by the site. The property taxes, we're going to use the calculator here. This assessed value is out of date by 2 years, and unfortunately on the BSA site for this property, the taxable value is behind a paywall. So to be safe, we're just going to take half of the purchase price around that number and put that in as for the state equalized value, and this is the calculation that we get. So here are the key metrics for year one. You can see the cash flow is really negative along with the cash on cash return. The cap rate here shows positive, and that's because the net operating income covers the expenses. It's just the lending and mortgage that sends this property into a negative. Here's the carry risk, so the total carry cost. This is the total amount of negative cash flow you would have to pay out of pocket, projected to be, until your year 15, which is where you're projected to break even. On the cash flow table here, you can see your key metrics from year 1 all the way to year 30, and you can see how cash flow eventually turns to positive. If you go to the ROI table, you can see that outside of just cash flow, this property does still generate a positive return with the total ROI, including appreciation, debt paydown, and tax savings. The key is here we're buying in Royal Oak, which is higher prices, but in turn you get a higher appreciation rate than the rest of the surrounding areas. So typically what happens is if you're buying in an area with higher property values, you do get more appreciation, but your cash flow is much, much harder to find. In areas where cash flow is easy to find, appreciation happens at a much slower rate. So it's a give and take in both of these cases, and it depends on your goals on whether or not this property would be a good pick for you.